What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chiefing with Daily Dale. I'm your host, Dale Fowler, along with my partner, Lonnie. How you doing today, brother?
Good, good. I'm doing good. How you doing?
Doing pretty good, bro. Hey, that baby sound like it's wearing you out, my boy.
Not wearing me out. It's different. I'm adapting to the lifestyle for sure, but little by little, I'm adjusting.
Yeah, that's always good, bro. Always happy to see our brothers out here t- handling duties like they supposed to. But
So
what we got going on today is, man, we're going to definitely talk about the Kansas City Chiefs defense, how dominant they've been these past couple of weeks, and what to expect against the Chicago Bears. Also, we're going to talk about the new restructured contract for Patrick Mahomes, making him the highest paid quarterback in the league now. Well deserving. Great birthday gift for him as well too. And also, we're going to talk about the shakiness of the offense a little bit as well. They definitely had some trouble the past couple weeks, so we're definitely going to dive into that, and then also give our predictions for the Chicago game that's coming up on Sunday. But first, we'd like to give you a brief message before we start this episode.
Get ready, Chiefs Kingdom, to unleash your passion and excitement for all Chiefs content. With the up-and-coming sports media company giving you all of the Chiefs coverage. We are raising the decibels and embracing the community of Chiefs Kingdom. Elevate your fandom and join our team who loves your team. Red Kingdom Media.
All right, welcome back to the show. Now, before we begin, make sure you follow all our social media platforms at Red Kingdom Media on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those good things. Also, make sure you like and comment on this video as well too, and make sure to share that bad boy as well. Now, Lonnie, let's go ahead and jump into our topics today. So, the Kansas City defense had a total of 4 sacks on Sunday, and they did not allow a single touchdown. How much better did this Chiefs defense get with Chris Jones? And after a solid week that they had on in week one on Thursday night against the Detroit Lions, what's your thoughts about that?
yeah, so I think they looked the world's better coming into the game than they did against the Detroit Lions. Even though they didn't look bad against the Detroit Lions, holding the Detroit Lions, I think like 20-21, if I'm not
Hmm.
mistaken. So they look pretty good. Look very good on Sunday, holding against the Jags team that we know is going to make the playoffs. To just put up 30 against the Indianapolis Colts, who doesn't have a bad defense themselves, who actually when they got it going beat Mahomes last year sometime. So I feel like that the defense really looked good. We showed us. I feel like they showed us that they can at least be a top 10 defense. Just moving forward, just being how that secondary, that back end played in that pass rush. We knew the pass rush looked good with minus Chris Jones, so we can only imagine what it looked like when he came back. And it lived up to that standard. So I feel like it was all they were very, very, very solid in week two, just solidifying everything that we thought about them forward. Everything we thought about them before. Um, to that day we seen them. So I just feel like they showed us a lot. I feel like there's still a lot left for them to show us through the year. But there they definitely showed us a lot. Showed us that they can get pressure on the quarterback. Showed us that the DBs are definitely all on one accord, playing on one string. So I feel like they definitely showed us that they're at least they can have the potential to be a top 10 defense. I love to see it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, this defense that was somewhat shaky last season. They had their moments where we did give up a lot of, big plays. We didn't really do well on third down as well either. But these past 2 weeks they have been very solid. They were able to get the offense off the field. They've been able to compete. They were able to get some pressure on the quarterback as well too. And also the secondary was just able to hold up in those big moments. Now, I understand the first game of the season, St. Brown, he did have a decent game against us. He did put up some numbers in yardage. However, he was one of the only few who actually scored a touchdown against the Chiefs out of the two touchdowns they had that whole game. And then last week against the Jaguars, uh, a wide receiver group that is considered, well, could be considered one of the best in the league at this moment with the potential that they have there. And Calvin Ridley coming off a suspension for an entire year and then coming back and just playing lights out in the first week. And then also had some pretty decent moments against the Chiefs as well on Sunday. However, it wasn't enough. They weren't able to score touchdowns. He was definitely matched up with Sneed throughout the entire game, and Sneed held his own for someone who missed the entire training camp and also preseason preseason as well too, and then coming back week one, and then going against a guy like Calvin really in week two, he definitely showed that he can hold his own, and he was able to really go out there and then produce at a high level. But overall, this defense just has been phenomenal. Chris Jones came back. Seems like he hasn't missed a beat. He definitely didn't need training camp or preseason at all. It looks like he's back in midseason form. He was able to get out there and get 1.5 sacks, but also producing pressure not only on the inside but on the outside as well too, at edge in moments that we needed him. And we talked about it before in the post game as well too. It's just with his size and his ability being able to match up with those top tackles in the league. He has that advantage when he's able to get past them. That quarterback is in a position to where they are not able to beat the rush at all, and they either have to consider just going down or trying to fight their way out to the outside. However, with Chris Jones' body frame, he's able to just really maul them still and really be able to get that sack and push the sticks back a little bit more and give that advantage for the Kansas City defense. But I'm just excited for what we have going forward. I know we're dealing with some injuries right now. Both Bolton and Gay was not present. Well, they was at practice today and they went through walkthroughs. However, they weren't just full participants. They actually sat through most of the practice. So, but it was for rest, and they said it's not as significant. But we know how Andy Reid is coming off of a loss. I mean, coming off of a win or coming off a game in general, and then guys who are having those nagging injuries, he like to give them some rest in practice. So they should be good to go on Sunday. But however, they just I like what I'm seeing overall. But let's go ahead. What you want to say?
I was going to just say, only thing that I feel like can help them solidify themselves really as that top 10 defense is just creating turnovers. I know Trey McDuffie had one last week. I think we had at least two this last game. They were kind of like just kind of fluky turnovers where the ball was just through behind the line. He throws the ball backwards a couple of times. Trevor Lawrence does. So I just feel like we need to create a couple more turnovers, whether it be through the air or forced fumbles. But I feel like the Chiefs have the potential to potentially be a top 10 defense this year. Be talked about in the vein that they haven't been talked about before, especially when it comes to defense. And I feel like they have the chance to win a lot of games on defense, which Mahomes has not had the luxury of doing later in his career. He's usually just trying to fight and keep the score, trying to score 50 to blow the next team out. So it's going to be good for us to see and just see how they're talked about moving forward, because the spotlight has been so much on that offense for so long. Let's see if we can really bring some shine onto that defense, because they played up to the bar last week.
And I mean, honestly, we can go a step forward and be like, hey, this defense really had the potential to be a top five defense in the league, just because based off the points per game that they have allowed so far, and then also with the turnovers and the pressures that they get on the defensive line as well too, they can play a significant role if really making us that top defense in the league. And you know what I talk about all the time, your secondary is only as good as your front four and your front seven. If you're able to get pressure, if you're able to make the quarterback uncomfortable, you're going to give those chances for your DBs back there to really create some turnovers and get more interceptions. And we know this is a defense, a secondary that we haven't seen really get as many turnovers. However, they do make a lot of good plays and they do put us in positions to still win. But if we have that great pass rush to where you have the quarterback uncomfortable throughout the whole game, he's going to make those mental errors, throw it in a wrong, maybe throw it in a wrong position or to the wrong receiver, and then we have an opportunity to attack and then really take advantage of that going forward. So we'll see how it goes. I think they're looking tough. They're looking tough. And Spags is someone who said before that, you know, of course he wants to be a top 10 defense in the league. Of course he want to be a top 5. Damn, he wants to be the best defense in the league. However, he's one of those individuals who strategize and he adjusts in the moment. At the end of the day, he's worried about really creating opportunities for the offense and putting them ahead to where when they get the ball, they're in a better position to score. So I like that mindset. He definitely has a winner mentality. Damn, this is a guy who won 3 Super Bowls and he won 2 with the Kansas City Chiefs. So I know it's a lot of great things that can happen on that side of the ball. But let's go ahead and jump forward. Pretty much we're still going to stay on the defensive side, but we have a game coming to go up against the Chicago Bears on Sunday at 3:25. This is a offense that has been struggling the last two games of the season. They lost both of their games this season, and also Justin Fields have lost 12 straight as well too. This is a good opportunity for the Chiefs to capitalize on this right now, and add more injury to insult. So, what are your thoughts and what do you predict for this Kansas City defense against the Chicago Bears?
Yeah, so of course I'm hoping and I'm predicting that it's going to be a successful day, the same type of day that the Buccaneers had against them. I just was listening to watching some different podcasts earlier where they were speaking about they kind of blitz Justin Fields. Justin Fields hasn't been great when he has had time in the pocket, which is usually not the case when quarterbacks are really want to use their arm or really good with arm. He's more of just a mobile quarterback that needs to run and needs those design runs, more like Josh Allen. Um, just so I'm expecting him to be able to get after Justin Fields for sure, and just disrupt, especially in the backfield, and see if we can have another heyday like we had against the Bears. I mean, not against the Bears. I'm sorry, against the Jaguars. Being that we just held them to 9 points, no touchdowns in the red zone. See how that goes there. The Chiefs do not really fare well against running quarterbacks. They haven't fared well against running quarterbacks in the past couple of years, just a la Josh Allen in the games that he's had with the Buffalo Bills coming here and beating us twice. So I want to see how they attack this and how they handle this because this is going to be a test of many. But like I said, because Josh Allen has been here twice during the regular season and beat us twice, just running quarterback draw and a lot of just design quarterback runs, being the leading rusher, not being scared to throw the ball. So I'm pretty sure they're looking at a lot of Josh Allen film right now, just kind of just seeing because Justin Fields has those same traits and abilities. Not saying that he is Josh Allen, but he does have those same traits and abilities, and it is possible to come in and beat the Chiefs when you have that. So I just really want to see how they game plan against this. See if they're really ready for that running quarterback. How we have our rushers rushing and just how we handle it, because this is going to be a test that we're going to have moving forward, especially with a lot of the teams that we're going to face. Zach Wilson had a hell of a day running the ball too against Dallas. So we really just need to see how we can handle it. But I'm expecting the Chiefs to be dominant, continue their dominance like they did against Jacksonville.
I want to see what happens next for the Chiefs defense against a running quarterback. I am glad you brought that up. You did bring up Josh Allen, but also Lamar Jackson as well too. Keep in mind we are 3-1 against Lamar Jackson, but in most of those games, especially the first game we played him in his rookie season when he took over for Joe Flacco, he did have a decent outing against us. He was able to take advantage, get to the outside, was able to put up some yards rushing against us. However, we know what Patrick Mahomes and that offense can do in moments like that to where they can bring us back and win the game going to overtime. And then after that as well too, where we was able to dominate. But at the same time, he was able to take advantage of when we were going after him. And once we were having our guys and our DBs, playing with the wide receivers, covering those guys, he was able to take advantage of those gaps and those open field opportunities to get first downs and extend the drive for his team. Um, this is a perfect opportunity to work on that before they have to play guys like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson in the future. We're not going to play Lamar right now in this regular season. However, we will be able to see them in the playoffs if they do make it far enough, right? So this will be a good test with a young quarterback who honestly has nothing to lose. Right now, we understand that he was their top draft pick a couple years ago. However, this is a team who's going through some situations with their defensive coordinator resigning today, the whole organization as a whole just really looking sloppy. And with the play that they have been producing out on the field, it hasn't been good at all. So he has a chance to go out there and be like, okay, no one's expecting me to actually ball out, especially coming into Arrowhead in this type of hostile environment. I'm going to just go out and play my game. So this is a moment where the Kansas City Chiefs can capitalize and make sure they work on those containment opportunities to where you're going to practice against this when you play against a Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson later on in the future, and you can prepare for those type of situations and schemes. Justin Fields, a lot of people give him a lot of criticism and really talk down on his play. However, this is a quarterback. If he's really feeling it and he's in his mode, he can definitely really take advantage into the game and really shifted for his team. Where again with the Kansas City Chiefs, we have had moments to where it was a team that came in that wasn't supposed to do nothing against us, and they were able to do something against us. So they can take advantage of that. Justin Fields might come out there. They do have some weapons over there as well too. They do have a Chase Claypool. They do have a Mooney. They do have a DJ Moore who is very electrifying. If those guys even have a chance of seeing open field and they get the opportunities against our DBs and we're not creating pressure against a guy like Justin Fields, they can take advantage of that. Like I said, they don't have anything to lose. So we need to watch out for that. They need to be prepared for that. And I'm sure Spags is going to be prepared for that as well too. Keep in mind, we didn't saw in situations against running quarterbacks like that when they're starting to take advantage and really get loose in the running game as a quarterback, we start to seeing a lot more pressure. So what's going to happen is you're going to start seeing more guys like Justin Reed or a guy like Sneed, even McDuffie as well too. You might start seeing them play in the box a little bit more, and he might be seeing it either a delayed blitz or he's going to make sure they have that outside containment. That way he has the speed on the edge. That way once they try to get outside, we have somebody that can chase them down. So I think this is a moment where you work on that, you put it all together, and you really put yourself in a situation to where, okay, even though it's the Chicago Bears, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come out and be dominant as we was against the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Detroit Lions. Trevor Lawrence is a guy who can really make some plays with his legs as well too. The Chiefs were able to really stop that. He wasn't able to really take advantage and get out and really put an impact on the game with his legs or even his arm as well too. So we can do that to Justin Fields. We just have to stay disciplined. We have to just not have those mental errors and have penalties and extend the drive for them. We gotta go out there, play by play, three and outs, really no penalties at all, and just play a clean, smooth game. Get the ball back to the offense and let them find their rhythm as well too. So
Yes. Don't get caught with your feet in the mud type game.
yeah,
Don't play down to the level of your competition type game. Um, really
exactly.
go in and handle your business type game. That's what it is. Because we
Pretty
see this
much.
from the Chiefs a lot. Where the Chiefs get in games that they definitely should win. And next thing you know, we look up and the game is 17-17 going into the fourth quarter. So it's like, don't let them hang around. Handle your business like you've been handling it. It should be another day at the office, but especially with all that, like you said, all that turmoil and drama going on. But you never know. I didn't know Eberflus was one that led a lot of those Colts teams that beat Mahomes back in the day
Hmm.
when they were playing on that defense on the Colts when he was working with Wright. So Frank Wright. So I would not be surprised if they have something up their sleeve for Mahomes and Kelsey. They will be ready for Mahomes and Kelsey. So
Yep.
we will see. It's going to be a chess match for sure. And I hope the Chiefs are prepared. And like I said, don't play down to the level of your competition.
Yep, come out and be dominant. This is our chance to really put our name back on the map and letting people know like this is not the this is not a Kansas City team that has lost its way without have lost its way and we're having that Super Bowl hangover. It has been seeming like that the past couple games. We're able to sneak away with one. But hey, I just hope the defense they don't let up and they keep going and keep on putting their foot in those opponents' necks. Now, before we move on, make sure go ahead follow us on Red Kingdom Media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube page as well too. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video as well. That way we can get more views, get more people involved in Chiefs Kingdom. Come tap in with your boys. Come mess with us, you know.
Mingle
Now,
with
let
us.
mingle with us. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. We're here
For
to have
real.
a good time.
Come on.
Now, Lonnie, Patrick Mahomes, MoneyBag Pat.
Drop the bag on you.
He's a richer man for the next 4 years. The
Mhm.
highest paid quarterback in the league right now. We didn't saw some great extensions this offseason. Lamar Jackson being one of the first, Justin Herbert getting his as well too, and also Joe Burrow signing his actually on our first game of the season. Now, Pat, they have moved some money back from the back end of his contract, moved it forward up to these next 4 years. He's gonna be make worth around 200 a mil altogether. So They also said this could be some needed cap relief for us as well too. I don't think it's that much of a. I think it took about like 2.5 mil off our cap hit for this year, and then for the years after that, it gives us some needed cap relief as well. So we'll see how that goes for future CJ extension as well too. Who knows? But what are your thoughts about the Kansas City Chiefs doing that?
Yeah, I like it. Every he was gonna have to be paid eventually for sure.
Yep.
We knew it was coming one day. This is a $400 million deal. Where we would never really seen the guaranteed big numbers come out about it. Everything was kind of kept in house. We just knew that the large number was $400 million. So eventually he has to be paid, and he was going to get his big payday. Mahomes, if you are a real Chiefs fan and you've been watching, we know Mahomes has not been making a lot of money. He was not even the highest paid player on the roster just a couple years ago. So I feel like this was his just due. He was just coming to get his payday now. Eventually it has to happen. He needed to be in that upper echelon of quarterbacks. He was pretty low down there on the board, like he said himself. And we know what type of quarterback he is and who he is. We know his money is not his main concern either with the type of deal that he has. So I'm not concerned here about him coming to get the money early or anything like that. I feel like it was his just due. He's won 2 Super Bowls. He deserves to be paid. In this situation, I feel like he just got paid. And like you said, it was some needed cap relief for the Chiefs. The Chiefs have a lot of free agents coming up that they need to re-sign. A lot of key pieces to them winning that championship that needs to be held in place. And the only way to hold them in place is to give you some cap relief and open up some cap space to be able to do that. So with that being said, I feel like this was going to have to happen eventually. Even like the CJ deal getting done, all of that stuff was going to have to happen eventually. We're going to have some big decisions coming up here in this next coming off season. So I want to see how this helps us moving forward. I definitely want to see if this helps the CJ. If this was a writing on the wall for CJ, maybe Brett Veach seen the same thing that we've seen in the Jaguars games and said, no, we can't let that walk out the building. So let's go ahead and figure something out. I think that may have had something to do with it too, but we'll see. Like I said, in the future, just seeing what this holds and what this entails moving forward. Because like I said, we have a lot of big free agents coming up. Justin Reed, I know, and Willie Gay, Nick Bowe, and just a lot of people coming up here free agency that needs to be re-signed. A lot of key pieces. So I love that Pat got paid. Hurry up and get it out the way.
I'm glad. Uh, Now everybody can shut up. He got his money like he's deserved. He been had his money already, but we just was. I feel like always, and I told you this before as well too. When he got that first long, lengthy contract, 10 years, it's still the same contract, but they're just moving up money up from the back end. That's all it pretty much is. But when we did that, we knew that we had our franchise guy. A lot of people don't take risks like that. It's like, okay, we're going to give you these 3, 4 year deals. We still will give you like, top of the market money at your position, but it's just not long term. We know we want Patrick Mahomes until he retires in the NFL. Now, will that happen? Probably not. But we're gonna have him as long as we're gonna have him in his prime. We're gonna have all of that. Y'all can get the little remains, but we're gonna have all that and we're gonna enjoy that.
Yeah.
But him getting his deal, I'm just definitely happy about it. I think it's well deserved. This is a guy who at his time of starting, he been to 5 AFC championship games. He done hosted all 5 AFC championship games. Only time he hasn't had a playoff game here in Kansas City is when the Super Bowl was being played. And he has really just broken that curse that we had over our backs for more than 50 years. So he helped break that along with Andy Reid as well too. Of course, that's a phenomenal coach, and he's definitely a reason why Pat is in the position he's in now, and why he's the richest man in the NFL at this moment. But at the same time, you want to make a guy who has changed, who has shifted the culture for your city, for your football team. You want to make sure he feels that and he understands that, and he want to be a part of that for years to come. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is a guy who is selfish and who wants to actually you know, really put his franchise in a position to where we're not able to succeed. We're not able to add talent on that team as well too, because he know the Kansas City Chiefs is just not winning with him. We have to have the surrounding pieces as well too, and he understands that. I think this was an organization who understand the value of what they have at quarterback, and they have to go ahead because we know how social media is nowadays. Maybe back in the day, during the early 2000s, all the way up until that time, we could get away with that. I think that's how the Patriots honestly got away with that with Tom Brady. But now with social media, we have all these different websites who keep track of contracts. We have all these different media outlets and media individuals who's talking about these individual contracts, and they can hear that everywhere because it can be shared, posted, sent it directly to him. There's like, man, go ahead and get in front of this right now. Even though we know he's not this type of person who will try to put this back on us, but we're gonna show him like, don't worry about what they're talking about. We're taking care of you for a reason. Now, you could make the argument to where it's like, okay, he took this lengthy deal. He ended up being a top 8 paid quarterback. He was literally at number 8 at the time before this deal actually happened. And it's like, man, you could be like, man, I took this money. We still not able to bring in like the top end free agents. Well, the thing is, everybody, we were making moves, but we were always that leverage tool for other players to where like, I'm gonna go to the Kansas City Chiefs. They probably offered me a decent deal to come play with Patrick Mahomes. However, with me doing that and they don't want us to play with Patrick Mahomes, this other team is going to overspend. And guess what? They're going to go to that other team. So sometimes at a point, it could be like, man, I'm doing all this and we're still not getting in this. And we said this contract was going to be like this to retain the guys that helped us with the Super Bowl run. Go get some other guys that we can add on both sides of the ball to where we stay competitive for the next years to come. The thing is, I understand it seems like that might not happen, but at the same time, we still stay competitive for all the years he was here with us. We've been to 3 Super Bowls. We won 2 of those. He has a chance to go get some more as well too. And then right now with the weapons that he have, that he can still be somewhat successful. We just got to see how it all pans out and see if they're able to reach the heights of the talent that they have out there. But you know, I'm happy for it. I don't think this is a bad deal at all. I don't think this really puts the Chiefs in a position to where they're not going to be successful for years to come. We always know that Brett Veach is a mastermind and he always know how to put these numbers together. So I'm sure as time comes up, they're going to be able to find ways to manipulate the cap, be able to find some needed cap relief, along with still being able to pay their number one quarterback as well, the best quarterback in the league. So I'm not worried as much. But congratulations, Patrick Mahomes. You That money was well deserved.
Well
That's a
deserved.
great birthday gift after having a win against the Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday. So money bags everywhere. Brink
Yeah.
truck being backed up. You got it. All right. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the offense in general. We
Mhm.
talked enough about Pat right now, but let's talk about his surrounding players around him. Um, Offense still a little bit shaky, Lonnie.
Yeah.
We still having some drop passes at times. They called it way better than what they did in week one. However, we still had a couple turnovers as well too. Justin Watson had one. Tony ended up coughing up one. He was able to get it back, but we had a major loss of gain. Richie James, punt return, fumble, being recovered by Jacksonville Jaguars. Like Lonnie, what's your thoughts of everything that's going on?
Yeah, just a lot of miscues, not being focused. I'm not surprised. I'm not worried about this too much. Just being that we know who Andy Reid is. He's an offensive guru. He knows how to get his guys focused and get them right back in there. Get them back chipping away. It's usually the little things, right, that you see with a lot of miscues. It's the fundamentals. So I know Andy Reid will get them back in. They'll rework the fundamentals, and all of these kinks will eventually get worked out. I have a lot of faith in that offensive line still. They look good, like I said, coming into the season. Jawan had a little bit of problems being spotlighted and picked on going into that Jaguars game. So I feel like all the miscues will eventually iron themselves out. The fumble bug was one that we ran into last year a lot with losing us games in the year before. So I'm pretty sure that they will talk about that and handle that as well, especially with the ball security. I know EB is no longer here. He was really a big advocate on that as well, high and tight. So I know they'll get all of these kinks worked out. Andy Reid is a guru and a savant at working out kinks when it comes to miscues and turnovers. I know the Chiefs won't have these problems ebbing them moving forward. I want to see if we can get some chemistry in that wide receiver room. This is a room that we talked about a lot going into the season and had very high expectations of. And they haven't really lived up to those expectations, unfortunately. So let's see if we can get it going against the Bears who are struggling coming in. I want to really see what we can do. And I don't think the miscues and all of the other stuff continues. I feel like the Chiefs get it right. Just being, I know who their coach is. They're a very well coached team, so I don't see those that continuing to happen.
We will eventually get it together. I'm not worried about that, but I think it's time for Mahomes to, find his guys that he actually wants to get connected with. It's very important to, get a connection and get a chemistry with those guys who will come through for you in those particular moments. I think the last part of the game with the Jaguars, Scott Moore showed that he can actually be a reliable target in the future. He was able to get open at the back in the back of the coverage all by himself. Wasn't able to run it in for a touchdown, but he got us all the way up around the goal line, and we were able to close out the game from there. And then he had a couple clutch catches as well, being one of the touchdowns that he had. The first touchdown in the game with Patrick Mahomes. So I think he moved up in the rankings for Pat on that. But we need Tony to reach that ranking as well too. We need him to be the number one target, because that's what we want you to. That's why we brought you to Kansas City, to take over that role, to be that dynamic player that we know you can be. And I think Mahomes has that, but Tony has to get out of his own head as well too. Now he started off the game tough, had some good catches, some great yak as well. Definitely fighting for every yard. He has an unconventional running style that a lot of people don't get. Like when he juke a guy, it's weird when he was juking him. The dude is right here on this side. He's on the side of you right here. You juking this way though, and you still get him. How? That's I don't know if it's just like I don't know what he about to do. Like we can't say what we call it on the stream because we gonna get flagged immediately. So we not even gonna even talk about that. But at the same time, man, it's just funny how he's able to really make those type of plays, and he's just that good at just breaking loose from tackles and really have that elusiveness.
Yeah,
But I think once he get out of his own head with that, I think he moves too fast. His brain is going too fast in the moments. He just have to calm down so he can't be that option.
yeah,
Now, we want MVS to really be that role. We know that he's our deep threat downfield who opens up the offense for us underneath. But at the same time, we still paying you 3 year, 33 mil. You make it 11 mil a year. We need you to really play up to your contract at least. That's what we need you to do. So that's supposed to be our third option right there. Now we got Justin Watson. At the same time, you know, he's still you know, he I understand he's like our fifth. He's supposed to be our fifth or sixth option, in that wide receiver depth, in that lineup. However, he just has that chemistry with Mahomes, and I think that's just going to stay steady throughout the entire season, especially with Patrick Mahomes trying to find his way with these young wide receivers as well too. But with with Richie James going through that MCL injury, this is a chance for Justin Ross to move a little bit up on that depth chart as well too. Now he's not a punt returner. However, he will still have more reps. We can be out there where we can scheme up some things for him as well too. And we needed him to find his way in this offense because he has that potential of being a first, a number one option for the Kansas City Chiefs. So
absolutely.
I'm excited to see what goes on with that, but I think we need to cut it down. I know we want to utilize all seven, but I think we need to cut it down to four. And the four that I gave you, Sky Moore, Tony, MVS, and Watson, they might need to be your main focus, just because those are main guys who was from the offense last season. Of course, we have been seeing Rashid Rice as well too, really kind of find his way in this offense, and I think he's going to be someone who ends up sneaking up in those rankings just because it seems like him and Mahomes have it. He just last game he didn't have no drops, so he was fine. I think it's just in those moments he need to watch out for those drops, and he'll be okay. So I like what's going on. I like what's coming with it. But I think they just need to calm down as a whole unit, because we have the media out there saying, "Oh, is Eric Bieniemy really missed in Kansas City?" Let me tell you something. He took his offense from Andy Reid and created it. All right. Andy Reid been doing this since he was in Philly and came over here and did this with Alex Smith, who wasn't even a downfield throwing quarterback, and he made some work. And he loved passing the ball. We're not gonna play those games today. We're not
Yeah,
gonna do that. I understand what EB got them doing over there with the Commanders is phenomenal. I'm glad to see that he's doing well. Sam Howell, those wide receivers look like they're getting a lot of motion as well too, especially with Terry McLaurin and then Jahan Dotson, and then also he's loving his running backs as well too. Brian Robinson, who's been balling out, he had 2 touchdowns last game as well too. I ain't taking nothing from him, but at the end of the day, Andy Reid is the one he's up all night. He's in that playbook. He's going in and he's doing his part. So, not taking anything away from him, but this offense, it's the players who have to step up. It's the players who have to, really get it going and really make a move. They're the one who have to step up. Now, Andy Reid is a player coach. He is a player coach.
for sure.
But at the same time, you're gonna have to take responsibility and understand, like, it's on us. We gotta go out there and execute. They put the plays together, they put the scheme together. All you have to go out there and do is, just make a play. Everything else they can clean up later on. So you want to say anything before we move on to our
Yeah, no,
predictions?
no, not too much. Just yeah, I feel like I said, the miscues will get cleaned up. Andy will figure it out. Like he like you said, he's done this before. He's led great teams without Eric Bieniemy. That with the great quarterbacks that are not as talented as Mahomes. So Andy will figure it out. He'll get everybody going, get everybody right, and I feel like we'll be ready to go against the Bears.
All right. All right. So we're getting close to wrap up time, but guess what we have to do? We got to give our predictions, bro.
Hmm.
So what's your predictions for the Chicago Bears game?
Oh man, so the offense hasn't been playing good at all. I'm really, really hoping we have a day and at least score 24 points. So I'm gonna say,
Hmm.
give me the Chiefs 24, 24-17. I'll give us we win by a touchdown. Well, no, I'm really giving slide my defense. Give me 24-10. Say the defense
24.
gives up a touchdown and a
So that
field goal.
they are covering the spread if you're doing that, because we do have a 12.5 spread against the Chicago Bears. Now,
Mm,
my prediction for this game, is literally a point off from the producer prediction, but mine's is 27-10. Unfortunately, the last time I've been having a Kansas City Chiefs score over 30 points, and that hasn't happened. I'm not going to do that again. Hopefully, this prediction makes them score over 30 points.
yes,
So
because
that's what I'm praying for. Okay.
yeah, because I wanted to go over 30 points, but I didn't go over 30
Yeah.
points just because you never know. I didn't know Eberflus was the one that led those Colts teams. I actually went to one of those Colts games where he lost and got beat really bad. So and he sprained the ankle. We had Cam Irvin blocking for him. So I didn't know he led a lot of those teams. This is a guy that knows how to scheme up some stuff and get to Mahomes and get to Kelsey. So
Yep.
we are going to have to really see. I wanted to go 30 points, but this is also a game too where we can finally see our breakout for our wide receivers, because there is a game, and
Hopefully.
I promise there's a game in there coming, y'all, where these cats are going to break out and have a hell of a game. So we're just waiting on it. We know it's coming, so just be patient. I know it's coming. There's too much potential in that room.
Yep. Yep. It's a lot of potential. So, like I said, 2017 for me. I think Mahomes get 300 yards passing in. I wanted him to have 3 touchdown totals. I'm okay with 2 being in the air and then 1 being on his feet. However, I think he can get all 3 in the air, 1 being the Kelsey, of course. I want to see a jump ball from my boy Justin Ross, and then another touchdown for Sky, man. Make him a that Juju option. I want him to be a number one. I
We
want
want
him
them
to, but
to.
we know we want Tony to be that number one option now once we bring him in here. But still, Scott Moore. That was my prediction for touchdowns as well too. Defense once again has a great game, and they get 3 sacks on Justin Fields. It's gonna be times we're gonna probably break out for some big runs, but it'll be perfectly fine. I think we'll be able to bring it together and still, be effective defensively. And of course, Spags love his blitz packages as well too. So we know we're gonna go after Fields as well. I think we're gonna do a great job on Sunday against the Chicago Bears. But that's my prediction for the game. But that's all we have for this episode of Chiefin. Make sure you like, comment, and share. Make sure just share it to all your family and friends. Have them come out and tap in with the boys on here on Chiefin. Make sure you go ahead and follow and subscribe to all our channels at Red Kingdom Media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and also subscribe to us on YouTube as well. Anything you want to say to the people, Lonnie, before we get out of here?
Nah, y'all just keep us in. We keep us all in good faith. Pray for the Chiefs. We don't come out and play crazy for real because we it's a lot of these games where we play these teams that are lesser than. We come out and we will start playing like those teams that are
Yep.
lesser than, and we've already been playing bad. So let's just see that. Let's hope the Chiefs come back and show that their regular selves. The offense has not arrived yet. The offense that we thought the offense arrived. I told Dale when they scored that Travis Kelce touchdown. But the offense has
Started
not
back.
arrived yet. I feel like a 30-point game, that's when we know the offense is here and Mahomes is back smoking, baby. So let's see if we can get it back rolling and railroad some people with a top 10 defense. Let's get on here and be talking about a defense and not Mahomes, even though he threw for 300.
Facts.
That'll be crazy.
Facts.
So,
You know our little defense. Facts.
yes.
Thanks. We can go on all night. But man, that's all we have for this episode of Chiefin'. Make sure you tap into to all our stuff, man. Make sure you follow, like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for checking out this update straight from the heart of Chiefs Kingdom. We appreciate your passion, so please leave a like and follow us wherever you tune in from. See you next tailgate, your trusted source for all things Chiefs. Red Kingdom Media.